Yeah, I guess they got some lawyers.
Okay, Spider fans and Central Virginia football fans, it's Volume 2 of City Stadium Memories. And you may recall from last week that this week's question was, what's your most memorable game that you've seen at City Stadium? The Chief, what's your most memorable game at City Stadium?
Well, sure, you should be. The one that comes to mind, and I can't think of the date of it, you probably can, is that game where Jeff Nixon. It was a good time.
That's a North Carolina game, 1978.
Okay, thank you. That's why.
And you know what?
That game is probably the most memorable that I can think of right off.
The last time I rushed the field.
You rushed the field in that game?
That was the last time I rushed the field.
Jeff Nixon made those 4 interceptions, I think. One arm going over a receiver. That was probably my most memorable.
And you know what? You know what our record was coming into that game? 1 win and 7 losses. That's how unlikely it was victory.
Between you and me, we told a good story on that one.
Good decision.
Okay.
Mrs. Sheriff, what's your most memorable City Stadium game? Mr. Electric, what's your most memorable game?
Best game I ever remember was back in 19. I don't know when it was. It was.
Were you playing or
no? It was way back when, probably 70 something. We played Virginia Tech. They had a big game, a big team. They came in here. It rained all day long, and we whooped them good.
Was that
also the other thing about the same game is Blaylock did not get in a fight.
Woo! That made it special. There's no doubt. That made it special. That may have been the famous Barry Redden game, 1980. 1980, and you know what our record was going into that game?
Pretty bad.
2-5. We had lost 5 games in a row going into that 1980 Barry Redden game.
That was a memorable game. It was miserable, but it was.
He just ran all over those Hokies, didn't he? Just ran all over them. Great choice. A special guest with the Spider Gang this week, Rocket Man, who has a special City Stadium memory of his most special game here. What's up, Rocket Man? Tell us about it.
When I was in middle school, they had the NCAA soccer championships here. And I came to a semifinal game with my good friend and soccer teammate, and we started wrestling outside the stadium, and we ended up breaking his ankle while we were here. So,
Now, was that the year?
I don't remember how the game ended.
Was that the year that the temperature was about 30 degrees and the wind was blowing about 40 miles?
It was the year before that when it was nice and warm outside in the sun.
All right, Rocket Man, welcome to the
All right, cool. Hey, I'm with Rick. My favorite memory was that 1980 Barry Redden Spider whooping of them Hokies. But there's one other game that I remember in a more dubious way. Season opener, 1974. Year after I graduated, Spiders win 14-13 over Villanova. Villanova was ahead 13-0 with less than 2 minutes left in the game. I headed for the exits back to the fraternity house. Guys come back about an hour later just hooping and hollering. Spider scored 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, 14-13 Spider win. For some reason, that one sticks out.
Okay, Mrs. Spirit could not be here in person today, but she is on the telephone
what is your memorable
with
game?
Mr. Electric.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you transcribe this?
Yes, you're on. You're on. Go ahead. All right, Miss Spirit's on the line here, and she says her most memorable game was one time it was a night game, and beside us, and Bobby asked her did she want a drink, and she says no, I'll wait till the lights go out. Which in turn everybody just died laughing, of course. Poor Becky. But anyway, she wanted me to give you this one little thing too. Yay!
Scooper, tell me about your most memorable game now.
All right, Tom. Well, I have three, but I don't know if I should say all three of them.
You got time to say all three.
All right, well, I think probably, and I'm going to take some of the fire from my wife, Robin. One of them was when we were losing to William and Mary. I think it was something like 13-0 at halftime. We lost our starting quarterback.
Is that the Curtis Jefferson game?
That was the Curtis Jefferson game. Came out, and he was a wide receiver, became a quarterback, and we beat William and Mary something like 19-18 or something.
That was amazing.
It was an amazing game. Another one was when I guess the one. Oh yeah, I know which one. The one that we played when we played Virginia Tech in the rain here.
The Barry Redden game.
Yeah, and I was sitting. The place was packed, and I was in the end zone, sitting right beside this older woman who was a Virginia Tech fan, and we were beating the crap out of them. And she was just sitting there every 2 minutes. She would say, "I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this." But the most memorable game is that probably a lot of my fraternity brothers did not see, and a lot of people didn't see, is when we were losing 13-0, and I think it was my freshman year, to Villanova with 2 minutes left to go in the game. Everybody left the stadium except me and other people. We ended up scoring 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes of the game.
That's the second vote for that game.
And we won 14-13. We went back to the lodge, and we went up to all the brothers and said, "Hey, we won the game," and everybody couldn't believe it.
Bonus question, what year was that in?
It was either 71 or 72.
Wrong again, 74.
It was 74, the Villanova game?
Good choice, I'll show you. Good choice. Great Scoober. Mrs. Diplomat with her most memorable game at City Stadium.
The most memorable game for me was the William and Mary game with the Hail Mary pass that I think it was Curtis Jefferson was the quarterback at the time, if I remember.
That was somewhere in the early 90s.
Well,
what a great game that was.
Right, and that's the one that just popped into my mind. There are probably a lot of others that I'm just forgetting about, but that's the one that I remember.
We've had a lot of great memories at this old stadium, haven't we?
We have.
All right. Thank you, Mrs.